Recently, I've been reading this book called The Power of Now. And there's a concept in this book that I want to talk about in this video today. And that concept is wherever you are, be there totally. What this means, as a short explanation, is that when you're doing something, you shouldn't be thinking about other things. It's best not to be thinking about other things. If you're doing something and you think, oh, I need to work, what you need to do is fully accept the fact that you're not working or go and work. You need to be either taking action on your thoughts and accepting them, or you need to accept that they're not happening and focus on what you're doing right now. Oftentimes, it's hard for me to relax, I'll be honest, because I tend to be a very harsh critic in my mind. I tend to be very hard on myself. When I'm watching a Netflix show, I think about, oh, I should be working right now. I'm procrastinating. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. This is a waste of time. I'm not making progress to my goals. But one thing I started doing is, instead of doing that, before, what I would do is I would be like, okay, I have this goal to do, and before I accomplish this goal, I'm going to watch one episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And obviously what tends to happen is that one episode turns into two, which turns into three, which turns into however how many, until hours of your day are gone. And maybe you might not even have time to take care of that thing that you were planning on doing. So instead, what I started doing is I accomplished that goal first. I got it out of the way. And then I would leave myself the biggest chunk of time possible to fully accept the fact that I was going to be lazy. When we go on things like these one-day dopamine detoxes, these intense routines, intense regimens, we don't allow ourselves any time to breathe. Yes, there are ways you can recover, like sleeping, obviously, or meditating, or ways that you can recharge and not get burnt out. But what I've found is that if you're going to do things like watch Netflix or watch YouTube, what's best is if you plan it beforehand. Because then at least it's scheduled. At least you have some sort of plan behind it, and you don't get caught up in watching something for hours on hours. I find that if I schedule 2 hours into my day to watch a show, I don't even end up doing that full 2 hours. I usually want to do something else after 1 hour. But then when I find that if I have a goal that maybe I'm procrastinating and I say, oh, I'm going to watch one episode, I waste so much more time when I'm procrastinating something. And the reason for that is when I'm thinking about the stuff I have to do while I'm being lazy, while I'm watching something, it's not even worth my time anyway. Even though I spend an hour extra than I usually would watching a show, that time isn't as valuable because I'm not enjoying it. Because I'm not there totally. My mind is elsewhere. I'm thinking about the things that I have to do. I'm thinking about the things that I have done in the past. Wherever you are, you need to be there totally. Because when you're thinking about the past or the future, you're not going to be able to enjoy what's going on. We tend to get so caught up in what we did, what we used to do, or what we're going to have to do, that we forget to just enjoy what's going on. And honestly, it's difficult for a lot of people to wrap their head around what being present actually is. Because when you're present, it's hard to acknowledge that you're present because you're not really thinking. It's sort of like when you're in that flow state, like maybe when you're talking to somebody that you're close with, you're having a deep conversation. You're not thinking about how present you are or how aware of the present moment you are. You're just doing what you're doing and you're focusing on that. It's really hard to wrap your head around the concept of being present. And to be honest, I can't really explain it because sometimes I was talking about this with my friend the other day in calculus. When you think about, there's certain concepts that when you think about them enough, they make less and less sense. And presence is one of those things. I think that presence is one of those things that you have to experience for yourself. That's why I highly recommend doing things like meditating and journaling, things that will get you into that flow state and get you present. The best way I can describe what being present or being mindful is the gaps in thought that you have. It's almost like when you're in that moment, time isn't real. When I have meditations that go 20, 30 minutes, sometimes I get to a point where I'm like, I don't know if this timer is going to ever go off, if my meditation session's ever going to end, but to be honest, I don't care because I'm so locked into the present moment. I'm in this flow state. I sound crazy, but I'm so locked into this moment that time doesn't even feel real. When you get into this state, when you're where you are totally, it makes life so much more enjoyable. There's so much more to life than what's all inside your head. There's so much more outside of your head that you can explore right now instead of thinking about stuff that happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future. I recommend you read this book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and I've been really enjoying it so far. Right now I'm on day 43 of 75 Hard, and I'm not sure if you know that program, but it involves reading 10 pages of a book a day, and I enjoy reading, but getting consistent at it is where I've been struggling. So this has really helped me get consistent. I've been reading 10 pages of this a day, and I'm really enjoying it, honestly. So I hope you guys read this book. I hope you guys found something valuable in this video, and I hope you guys have a great day.